Hey everybody. I just had a thought last night that came to me as a result of the lots and lots and lots of things currently going on in our system, in our reality. Now, I'm going to proceed this by saying that I know for a fact that this video is for those who are already consciously aware that we are inside of a construct, that this system that we are in, and I don't know who created the system, the overall system, but some time ago I was talking to my husband and I said to him, so follow me, track me, because I have to, think about this in a succinct manner. But some time ago, I was telling my husband, this was years ago, I made a statement where I said, if this system and construct, and let's dwindle it down to just the United States of America, was created or built off of something negative, so namely slavery, or just using human beings as to build this country. So if something is created out of negativity, why all of a sudden do we think that anything that proceeds forth out of the negativity can produce something positive? An example I'll give is fruit from the tree. Fruit from the tree, fruit or a tree bearing fruit from the nature of the tree that was implanted in the ground to begin with. So if all of the systems that were created out of something that was done or built negatively, why do we believe that anything that proceeded forth out of that negativity created anything that was of benefit to us, even if it appeared to be beneficial? And I'm talking about the education system, the political system, the law system, all the systems that were created out of the building of something that was negative to begin with, had negative energy associated with it to begin with. Even if it appeared to be positive. Track me, follow me. Now, where I'm going with this is people ultimately not understanding the nature of who they are as human beings, as who they actually are versus who they have been being lulled to sleep to think that they are. So what I understand as someone who pays as much attention to myself as I possibly can, who monitors my thoughts, who understands that I can bring things into reality that weren't once there. And what I mean specifically is I have thought about producing certain amounts of money, and I've produced it without effort, without lifting a finger to have certain monies come to me. All I had to do was write it down on a piece of paper, and no, I didn't have any control over how long it took for the money to come, but I have seen this, I have experienced this, and I'm only zooming in on money. There's been lots and lots and lots and lots over the years of other things that I have what they call manifested into reality. And I want to talk about that just a little bit, because manifesting, in the manifesting community, people can think that they're creating something. When in actuality, everything that there is to exist, especially in imagination, already exists. All you're doing is bringing yourself, your mind, into alignment with and to have a similar vibration with the thing that already exists, and therefore it becomes attracted to you without effort. That's what I'm talking about. So even though I might use that word manifest, I want you to understand on a deeper level, or a more aware level, that manifesting isn't about you creating a darn thing. It already exists somewhere in this construct, and we are just aligning our minds to vibrate or to resonate or to be of the same frequency of the thing that ultimately will come our way. Now, with that being said, this understanding of who we are, and a lot of other things, not just manifesting money, a lot of other things, this understanding of us got pushed to the background by man-made systems being given to us to produce these things. For everything that is happening in our reality, it was handed to us by some system, or you were told go that way in order to get it. And so instead of us having self-realization or understanding of how our personal energy and the energy of all things even works, we were given the construct. And in being given that construct, we were never really taught about ourselves. And so now that the givers of the construct and the systems within the construct are taking it back, they're taking it back because there's a shift of some sort that is occurring that's way bigger than my understanding, at least as of right this moment. They are taking it back because they're the ones who gave it to begin with. Everybody's flipping out. Now, it's not to say that we don't all have to recalibrate to an understanding, because we darn sure absolutely do need to recalibrate to begin to understand who we actually were all this time versus who we've been lulled to sleep, versus being lulled to sleep in terms of who we are. But that is what's happening. And I just wanted to bring awareness to the fact that the construct and the construct creators and the system creators, and I call them system engineers, who were giving us all of these things, we were thinking it was beneficial to us. Perhaps it was you can say it was beneficial to us, because if we didn't know who we were and we needed these systems in order to exist here because we never knew who we were, then to that extent it would be beneficial. But now these systems are no longer, something has shifted and something has changed. And so in the shift and the change, the systems that were given by the system engineers, for whatever those reasons are, I don't know. I don't know what the shift is. I do know, but I don't want to get into that. Right? I know some of it. I don't know all of it. I know some of it. But I just wanted to bring awareness to this. That part of this, even though it seems very chaotic and very off kilter and all of these things, and it's really shaking people up, the other side, because there's always an other side, there's always a challenge and an opportunity. And the opportunity of all of this is for us to begin to really understand who we always were this entire time versus who we have been trained to believe that we are. So I just wanted to stop by and just put that out there. And if someone who comes across this video has never thought of it that way, or who is new to becoming consciously aware of, you know, who we actually are as beings versus what you were being taught, you know, all of that, I want to get your thoughts. I want to get your thoughts. I started with, how could we ever, how could we ever have believed that something that was brought into reality from a bunch of negative energy and intention was ever going to produce something positive out of a negative? But over the centuries, we were lulled to sleep to believe that these systems were beneficial to us. But the construct and that system engineers would teach us that they're beneficial to us, because it was meant to lull you to sleep about who you actually are, so that you can more easily, more givingly, more effortlessly, without question, function the way that the system needed you to. And now the system engineers are pulling back what they gave. But there's a reason for that. I'm not going to discuss that, and I don't know all of it. But there is a shift, as you know, that is occurring. And in some way, shape, or form, time is up for how things were functioning before. And we are now we're going from first grade, in other words, to 12th grade. Just want to get your thoughts on that.